Hello, everyone. RPG Kingdom Kid here, back with some more stories. The Path of Destinies. In the previous video, we did one of the Ilblastone's final ones, and now all these routes have only one route left. It's very nice to know that. So, well, technically this one has two, but one false ending route left. So, yeah. And time to start this one.
Reynardo
So, also, I was wrong. I was wrong, like, a few parts ago. I was talking about, like, how,
Reynardo could use that somehow.
this game, like, and it's still true. It's still true as I'm recording this part. Like, this is part 22? Yes, this is part 22. Gotta go on this route. This is part 22.
Lapino. Apparently, the mad rabbit had sold a Pegasus
And,
that he did not exactly own. Lapino always
none of the parts
knew
have come out
trouble
yet.
Given time.
I was wrong.
But
This
he was
part,
out of
this
time.
series is not starting
But he
on
was
the last day
found
of
to
January. The
message
series is actually
so that
starting the first
Ravens
day
were going
of
to kill him
February.
for being a rebel spy.
Because I forgot I need to upload
If
one
the
more
fleet
part of
reached him
Deltarune
first,
in chapter
They'd
2.
string him up for that.
Up,
Never mind
so.
the winged horse.
Which I hope you guys enjoyed that series.
Or
And I hope you guys
so
have
Lapino
enjoyed
had
this
told him
series
over the
too so
fire
far. It's a
speaker
very,
anyway.
it's definitely an interesting one. And it's a small one too. So it'll be the February 25th
Lapino
when this
had
series is done.
apparently managed to
Which
confuse
means,
the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually
I'll be
stolen
honest,
the winged horse.
I don't know what I'll do
He
next. Like,
sold it.
I did a demo for Monarch, and obviously by the time
Where
this
was the
has come
prison?
out,
The village
I
was
will
empty,
already like put in a community post talking
and
about
everybody fled the
like,
ravens.
hey guys, just giving you a heads up. Like, I'm going to like literally today, as I'm recording this, which is the last Sunday of January. Which is last Sunday of January. So the 30th is the day that I'm recording this. So
was odd. Reynardo had
I'll
been
put up a post
at this
probably like
exact
once I'm
place
done
at this
recording
exact
for the day,
time.
both recording this and
This
some
time.
Arceus.
There were so many more ravens.
I'll put in a beat being like, hey guys, just give me a heads up,
Reynardo looked
yada yada
around
yada,
blankly
this and
for
this
the
and this,
reflection.
and I'll mention like, you know, I have
Sky
released
River turned out to be far
a little
too
mini
dangerous to
series
be
of
used.
checking out the demo for
Time to
Monarch,
turn to what he knew
and at
best.
the end I asked like, hey, would you guys be interested in checking that out as a series as a whole or something? So yeah, why do they give me skill points if I can't even use them? So I'll probably like, hey, if you guys are interested in checking it out, because I mean, only the first part of that demo came out, so oh, you little bitch. So like only one part of that demo has come out, so
He'd better get moving. If they got to the Lapino first,
I'll
they'd eat him for
maybe I'll wait.
breakfast.
No, I'll wait.
Or
I'll not wait.
snack.
I'll do it
Ravens weren't picky.
at the end. But like
They
that
got hungry,
that
they
first part got some
sometimes forgot to
decently
interrogate
good
their
views. So I'm like,
Even
fuck.
top spies like Lapino.
People are interested in it,
Well,
and like I said, I'm
unless he really
very
was a
interested
traitor.
in that game as well. Like,
Then they'd probably pin a medal on his chest.
like I'd be interested in playing it because I was interested in it when you know,
Lapino would betray him.
doing that. But
But now, Reynardo
I was like,
knew
what?
that.
But it's like it's so. Like, but then again, I was like, I don't know where the series are gonna be. Like this one, I was like, I don't know where we're gonna be when this series ends,
Well,
and
he'd concoct some crazy scheme, wouldn't he? That used Lapino's betrayal against him, and it would.
it's
blow
actually
his fuse.
hilarious because
Maybe he was
where we will be like right close to the end. But then Triangle Strategy comes out like the first Friday of March. But then again, Arceus, we could be very close to finishing up Arceus as well, depending on how I play that game. So I don't know. So maybe I will let's play Monarch. And then once that's done, I'll do Triangle Strategy, and maybe I'll be close enough to the end of Monarch to warrant a it, so then I can start Triangle Strategy, and then once I'm done with Triangle Strategy and Monarch, and then Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins will be coming out, and that's definitely going to be a series. So. And then we have Kirby coming out, and I'm pretty sure maybe I'll be done with Triangle Strategy or something. And even then, I know Kirby's not that long of a game, so I don't know. There's a lot of talking. There's a lot of stuff I need to think about and look through. Some of that stuff. I actually have to also reamp that schedule that I always show at the beginning of every quarter.
That would be worth it.
And I talk about because I don't think I had the Monarch release date on there. I don't know if Monarch had a release date by that time, but I don't remember.
And he felt sure.
Either way,
she had one for him. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power. To make the Sky Ripper, the Transcendent Emperor had wrapped an armature around the eye of a god. Reynardo had already let that armature slip away to save Lapino's life. But even its core, the eye torn from a god, surely they could fashion a great weapon from that. The core of the Sky Ripper? Lapino's excited. That's
core of the Sky Ripper
that we could just go and get.
Yeah, this one has to be a Sky Ripper ending.
Busy.
I don't see this being a Stone ending. I don't see this being a Zenobia ending.
All the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages they'd won and lost, and scrapes they'd barely got out of. It was good to be back with his friend. True, the core was capable of terrible, uncontrollable destruction. But this time, he was sure it would work great. It's beautiful here, thought Reynardo. It was nice to be back with his old war buddy. All right, Lapino was a traitor. But still, it was good company.
Alrighty. Are we on? Oh wait, no, yeah, this is the core one. Yeah, literally go down this fucking thing and you only have like 2 fights. Yeah, I have a feeling like all of these last 4 parts are going to be very short. But then, well, by last 4, I mean the last 4 of these
in the air.
Fake endings
Like the earth
are going to be
over something
of short
for a very
statures
long time.
or length. But I have a feeling like when I go down through the true route, that one's actually going to be somewhat of a good length. Nice. I wonder if I can actually get to level 50. Not that it matters, but
all
like...
over. He could feel an almost palpable sickness in the air. And if the land could have tumors, they would look like these monstrous crystals. The forest was quieter than it had been. There were insects, a few birds. He didn't count the ravens. Reynardo smelled sick animals and dying ones. No healthy ones. Getting a bad feeling about this. Reynardo thought, maybe Lapino was right. Maybe he should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming here.
I did do the pulling one. I don't know which one I
As he
missed.
held the radiant
Oh well.
icosahedron,
Not a big deal.
Reynardo felt queasy, like dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his insides. It wasn't healthy to be so close to the eye of a god. How could he use it? He could take it to the observatory. The scientists there could tell him how to harness its ancient power. But honestly, Reynardo ached to get away from it. He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. But honestly, Reynardo ached to be rid of it. "Tell you what," said Lupino. "I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial outpost." The Imperial outpost was a vital communications node. Taking it could shatter the Empire's ability to coordinate. And it would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Reynardo. But what if Lupino lost the core to the Empire? That could be a good thing, couldn't it? Was Reynardo ready to take that risk? Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself. Lupino was a touchy rabbit. Reynardo knew that. "You're brave, I know," Reynardo said. "But this is what I was hired to do." "Oh, well, at least let me run ahead and warn them you're coming." Reynardo wondered if Lupino was up to no good. Or if the rabbit warned the Empire instead. Oh, but Lupino wouldn't betray him like that. Not again. Before it'd been a fluke, right? They finished the trip to the Nexus in silence. He would offer Lupino a chance to betray him, or not to. His old friend deserved another chance to prove true. "All right," Reynardo said. "Go." As Reynardo watched Lupino vanish on the horizon, he could feel nausea building in him. He felt ill. Could his knees really be aching this much? But how could he have handed the core off to Lupino?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't be standing around not doing anything. And this is the one I was not looking forward to. Doing this one again. But the good news is, I don't need to do too much of it. Same with when I go to the Rebel base. And then my guess is, like I said, when I picked the going to the mountains route for this one, was like my guess is the one for the Rebel base, they'll make a thing that it'll be used as a weapon, but it'll still hurt me. Like I believe that's what happened in one of the routes here as well.
Reynardo felt worse. All his joints were aching now. He'd been through beatings that felt better than this. So the core had a kind of poison that could harm you without even touching you. That's new. Well,
Not even touching. Where's the core at if I'm not touching it?
the rebellion needed something with power. And how was this any worse than a sword wound? Well, a death by sword was sudden and fair. This was just squalid. A piecemeal death, like old age.
Fuck you. I think what I should do is I should just, like, not even bother flipping the switch the first time around. And I get bullshit like that, too. luck the fuck out by changing it over so I wouldn't die, and I was just using that the whole time. And
Reynardo had heard
the good news is
stories
I had
of
the ability where it's like, oh
dungeon
yeah, you get more,
potions and weapons.
you get stuff with every kill.
Fairy tales. The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists everywhere. Reynardo found the mad rabbit cowering under a desk. The ravens, they must have known we were coming, said Lupino. How did you... See, I was doing a card trick with my lucky deck, and I kind of bobbled the cards, so I went under the desk to gather them up, and boom! I guess we'll have to take the car straight to the secret base. Reynardo wasn't sure he believed that, but Lupino
We're
was
off
talking
to
so
the
fast.
base. We're off to
It
the
always
base.
seemed to make sense.
We're off.
The secret
We're off to
rebel
the base.
base. Yes. They had engineers there. But wait. Calaveras, the sage in the mountains. Maybe he would know what to do with the naked core.
The naked core. Which one did that lead to again? Didn't lead to Lupino, and it led to, was it this one? I think it led to this one, the fox who kneels, right? Yeah. Yeah, it did. Alright, where's this one gonna take me?
Yes. The secret base. Not even Lupino knew where it was. They had engineers there. Those toads would surely know what to do with the core's power. And then he'd be free of it. But he couldn't take Lupino. The core would work its evil on him too. You stay here. Give me the coordinates. I'll meet you there. Lupino seemed awfully anxious to have the coordinates of the secret rebel base. Someone needs to bury these scientists. Well, why do I get all the fun jobs? And with that, Reynardo returned to the Farfarer and took off. The ruins were quiet, but Reynardo could hear a buzzing in his ears. Was it bugs? Or was it the core slowly feeding
Go
him
home.
poison?
You're
The
sick.
council would know what to do. If the core had this much power, it could surely change the terms of the great battle that was coming. And maybe they would take this burden from him. Maybe. Why hadn't the kid opened the Book of Destinies? At least he'd have known about that gobbler. Why hadn't Hypatia opened it? War. And this was kind of terrifying. What if they had? And what had happened had been the best future they could find. Reynardo thought of the choices he had made. He'd rescued a friend and left him behind. He'd recovered a weapon and it was killing him. And the Empire's greatest scientists were dead because he'd asked for those lives. Reynardo to the win.
I thought of all the choices made. How dumb they were.
Thought Reynardo.
That way led to a fight. That way did not lead to a fight. It did lead to some health though, so let's see if we can get that. I think there was 2 fires. No, there was 1 fire sword area here, so I don't know if there was 2. They didn't at least give me a little more health. like, but I mean, it's not wasn't bad either, so I suppose.
How had it come to this? Reynardo had signed on as an adventurer. Sure, the Emperor had gone mad. Sure, Reynardo had heard horrors from the ghosts of dead kittens and puppies sacrificed in his blasphemous rituals. But when he jumped in, he'd only been a little bored and slightly broke. And here he was, carrying a bucket of death across a broken landscape. Why not drop it and run? Because he hated to quit in the middle. That was his fatal flaw. He had to know how it all turned out.
Ow.
The goat. Take the goat across first, Reynardo thought. But it was too late.
That was actually the first time I died in... When was the last time I even died in? No, I didn't die in the previous part. Did I die in the part before that? Oh well.
The long stairs. So he was close to the rebel base. Nothing was on fire. So far, so good.
Oh my god.
What dreams may come, he thought. And then he found out.
I think I was still so lucky, like how my first time I went through this, I got like... Wait, was that a level up statue thing right there? No, I think that was just a pool of something. Yeah.
He dropped the core at the entrance to the council chambers.
Get that thing out of here!
Croaked the speaker.
It's making us sick!
That's the core of the Sky Ripper, said Reynardo.
No, it's not useless at all.
Said an engineer toad.
It's poisonous. Look at the fox. He's ill. Probably dying.
Yeah, not useless at all, said Reynardo. So what do I do? Rub it on His Majesty? The engineer chuckled. Reynardo didn't like it when engineers chuckled.
Oh, I got it. Listen, I can make a bomb that spread bits of the core all over a circle about 100 paces wide. Yeah, little chunks of poison and death. All you have to do is just get it near the Emperor. You'll kill him and his bodyguard and chop off the head of the fleet. Yeah, and if we're lucky, might poison some of the ravens around there as well.
What about me?
Right, what about you? Well, I'll build in a timer. You can set it and run.
No, that's a horrible idea, said Reynardo.
All we have to do is something, yes?
Said the speaker.
This is something.
This is a
Reynardo
dumb
couldn't
idea.
argue with that. And so, reluctantly, Reynardo loaded the rigged core onto the Farfarer and set sail towards the Emperor's ship. The rebels took the fight to the Imperial fleet, but Reynardo was too sick to enjoy the view. He must have passed out as a firm hand grabbed him and shoved him forward. This was it.
Yep, and I was right. I'm gonna keep losing health during this entire exchange, aren't I?
The fleet seemed very big,
This
and its
is
ravens
something.
very tough. Or maybe he was just slower and weaker than before. He hated the idea of poisoning the enemy. It wasn't fair. Face to face with a raven, let the best swordsman survive. But they wouldn't even know what was killing them. Feather by feather, scale by scale. He didn't mind dying a hero. That sometimes went with being a hero. But he didn't feel at all like a hero. Not today.
Use dirty bomb on the Emperor. I'm actually quite curious what the name of this story is going to be called. Bitch. Dare try to go ahead of me.
He was exhausted. He was making stupid mistakes. His fur was coming off in bunches. Up ahead, he could see the Emperor's ship, long and sleek, a floating palace. The bomb would only poison a circle 100 paces wide. He would get as close as he could, set it, and run. Oh, this was a lousy way to win the battle, he thought. He didn't want a medal for this. He just wanted to be forgotten.
I know I said in the previous video, or maybe in this video, I was like, I wonder if I'll get to level 50. You know, like, it doesn't matter, but it's like one of those things, like, could it happen? The good news is I never have to do this one again. Where I have one where I'm just constantly getting hurt. And the good news is there's only one more fight too, so I suppose just have this sword equipped. And I'll change it back when the fight is done. Definitely not my best health-wise one, but what can you do when you were getting poisoned for 3 whole stages? And there we go.
Reynardo twisted the timer on the bomb as far as it would go and staggered off. His knees hurt. Oh, everything hurt. He staggered away as far as he could until he had to lie down. He could see the entire Imperial fleet from here and the rebel ships engaged with it. There was a blinding flash. And a second later, a monstrous thump. Burning rocks arced across the sky over both fleets. A wreath of fire shot outwards, rolling across the fleets. A pillar of smoke boiled up from where the Emperor's ship had been. It reached into the clouds. That's a wee bit more than 100 paces, thought Reynardo. It took Reynardo most of that evening to die. Some of the toughest ravens lasted all week. Some of the rebels in the furthest ships survived as much as a month. That winter, with neither Empire nor rebels to rule them, the islands slid into banditry. And so began the Second Age of Darkness.
Yep, that's definitely a core ending.
But he already had all the secrets he needed. He was sure of that. He must have not used them the right way.
Bucket of death. A hero who condemns his enemies to a slow and painful death.
Mistake he could make?
Not much of a hero.
Probably trusting that traitor Lapino.
A bucket of death.
The book's pages.
We got 2 more, guys.
Once again.
Our next one is going to be a Zenobia ending, and then the last one will be a stone ending.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas.
It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer.
Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Reynardo knew that using
No,
it could go
what I should always do is,
catastrophically
like,
wrong.
maybe I should always do my
Sure,
outro
he could
just
figure
during
out
this
how to
thing,
use
but
it
at the same
safely.
time, it's like,
Also,
meh, I don't
a
know.
temple had risen out of empty desert.
Something you see the
The
most out of it
Iblis
all.
Stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact.
So, Sky
It
Ripper,
could
which will
corrupt
be a
its
Zenobia
user into
ending,
a
and then
bloodthirsty
Iblis Stone, which will be an
monster.
Iblis Stone ending.
Maybe you
And
could
then we'll
find
have
a
them
way to use
all,
it.
besides the true one.
To take its power without
And then we'll get, like,
surrendering
the
to
false
its
endings in
wickedness.
those, and
And
then
also,
it'll be hilarious, and then
His
we'll...
old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course. Reynardo had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
Yeah. Alright, guys, that's going to do it for this part of Let's Play Stories, The Path of Destinies. In the next part, guys, we'll get the second to last false ending, or, you know, the not the correct route, you know. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Guys, if you liked the video, please give the like button a click, and comment down below what you like about the video, do you like about the video, and let me know, guys, what do you think of that one? A slow, painful death ending. Ugh, that's the worst. So, yeah. As well as, guys, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a beat, and subscribe to the main channel, too. That's in the description below. As well as follow me on Twitter. Both my main Twitter, the RBG, Keep Kid Twitter are in there, too. Thank you all so much for watching once again, and I'll see you all next time.